The college football season officially kicks off this week. I'm not counting week 0 because that's not real. I get that they want to make money off of it, but this is the week that college football truly begins. There aren't as many great week 1 games as there have been in years past, but there's still a number of solid matchups to look forward to. Here are 10 games I'm looking forward to the most in week 1 of the college football season. They aren't going to be in any particular order of excitement or anything like that, so don't take these as my top 10 rankings. We have Florida traveling to number 14 Utah for a Thursday night kickoff. Both of these teams met last season as Florida won a close one in a thriller. It's always fun seeing Pac-12 SEC matchups, especially since this will be the last season we ever get them. Utah is poised for another great season, but it all comes down to the health of starting quarterback Cameron Rising. It's going to be interesting to see how he looks out there as he recovers from his ACL injury. Meanwhile, with Florida, they have a brand new starting quarterback in Graham Mertz. If you've been following my channel for a while, you would know my thoughts on Mertz, and I don't think he's the right guy for Florida, but hey, maybe he can prove me wrong. It's a big season for both teams. Utah is going to be fighting to try and get their first playoff bid, while Florida is going to be trying to stay relevant in the SEC, as they finished under 500 2 seasons in a row. This next one should be a fun one, as Deion Sanders coaches his first game with Colorado on the road at number 17 TCU. The Buffaloes were the most talked about team all offseason, and for good reason. After being one of the worst Power 5 teams in all of college football last year, Deion Sanders came in and did a complete rehaul of this team. Are they going to be any good? That's the million-dollar question. They're a 3-touchdown underdog in their first game, and they have to face TCU, who was in the national championship just last year. How are they going to look? I don't know, because this is going to be a brand new looking team as they lost a lot of talent to the NFL draft. I don't think they're going to have a repeat of what we saw from them last year, but they should still be a solid team in 2023. I wouldn't be surprised if Colorado gets blown out, but I wouldn't be surprised if Deion manages to keep them in this one. This might be a pretty underrated game, but keep an eye on Fresno State at Purdue. The Bulldogs have been one of the better group of 5 teams over the last couple of years as they've won 10 games in back-to-back seasons. You then have Purdue, who has won 17 games since the start of 2021, so they've been one of the better teams in the Big Ten. Both teams have brand new starting quarterbacks, so it's going to be interesting to see how their offenses look this year. I think Fresno State is going to be able to hang around, and I wouldn't be surprised if they manage to pull off the upset. Boise State travels on the road to take on number 10 Washington. This would have been an epic matchup years back, but it should still be a fun one. The Huskies are ranked inside the top 10 to start the season for the first time since 2018. They were one of the more surprising teams in all of college football last season as they won 11 games. Michael Penix Jr. is a Heisman candidate, and it's going to be fun to see him go to work in week 1. Although Boise State isn't as great as they once were, this is still a group of 5 team that you just never want to face. They also have a sleeper of a quarterback in Talon Green, who should keep the Broncos in this game. Another sneaky matchup is UTSA at Houston. These two teams played a classic last year in week 1 as Houston won by 2 points in triple overtime. UTSA has won 23 games over the last 2 seasons, so anytime they lose, it's a rarity. It's their debut game in the American Conference, while for Houston, it's their debut game in the Big 12 Conference. I'm sure both of these teams want to start their new journey with a win, but this has a chance to be a high-scoring back-and-forth affair. Before we get to the rest of today's top 10, make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. If you're watching this video, odds are that you love college football, and odds are you aren't subscribed to my channel, so make sure to subscribe to one of the best college football communities here on YouTube. I'm going to be posting videos every day during the college football season, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Also, make sure to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans, and it helps my channel grow. Plus, it only takes a second to do. Although I don't think this next game is going to be a particularly close one, it should still be fun. West Virginia travels to take on number 7 Penn State. There's a lot of hype surrounding the Nittany Lions this year, as many think they could be a potential playoff team. I'm buying into the hype, as I think they'll be really good and can make a run in the Big Ten. Again, I don't think this one is going to be all that close, as I don't think West Virginia is going to have Penn State on upset watch. Still, it's fun seeing out-of-conference games like this, and it'll also be the first Big Ten game that we get on NBC this season. This one should be a dandy, as number 21 North Carolina takes on South Carolina in the Duke's Mayo Classic. Although South Carolina isn't ranked, this easily could have been a matchup between two top 25 teams. We'll start with North Carolina, who returns quarterback Drake May. He's considered by many to be the second best quarterback in the nation and is expected to make a Heisman push. Well, he has a pretty difficult matchup for the first week of the season. You then switch over to South Carolina, who ended their 2022 season with a bang. They started playing really good football, so it's going to be interesting to see if that carries over into this season. Spencer Rattler is back for one final year, and the hype surrounding him has been growing all offseason. Both of these teams should be really good in 2023, so who's going to get to start off their season with a resume-boosting win? Who would have thought this next matchup would be in the top 10, but South Alabama at number 24 Tulane should deliver. The Mean Green were arguably the biggest surprise in all of college football last season. They won 12 games and had the best year in program history. Were they a one-hit wonder, or are they going to show that they're for real? Then you have South Alabama, who, although they didn't crack the top 25 or anything like that last season, they were quietly one of the better group of 5 teams in all of college football. They won 10 games in 2022, by far their best season since jumping up to the FBS level. If they can kick off their season with the win, they might be able to crack the top 25 for the first time in program history. Number 9 Clemson opens up their season with a conference matchup on the road at Duke. This honestly couldn't have been a more difficult ask in week 1 for the Tigers. Although Duke isn't ranked, don't let this team fool you. Did you know that the Blue Devils were a 9-win team last year? I feel like a lot of people didn't. Riley Leonard is back as their quarterback, along with a lot of other pieces from last year's team. Clemson is still the favorite to win the ACC and reach the playoff, but this is a very difficult matchup for them in week 1, especially on the road. I think the Tigers should be on upset watch, and I wouldn't be shocked to see them go down in their first game. Although this list wasn't in any particular order, I did save the best game for last. It's our only game that features 2 top 10 teams, as number 5 LSU faces number 8 Florida State. These 2 teams met last year, where Florida State escaped with a crazy 1-point victory. Last year for the matchup, both of these teams were unranked. Fast forward a year, and they're both ranked inside the top 10. I'll start with Florida State, who opens the season the highest they've been ranked since 2017. Many people think they have what it takes to win the ACC and potentially sneak into the playoff discussion. Their offense is loaded, as they're led by quarterback Jordan Travis. Meanwhile, with LSU, this is the highest they've been ranked to start a season since 2016. It was quite the debut season from head coach Brian Kelly, who led them to the SEC title game just last year. I think he exceeded expectations just a little, so the expectations are sky high for the Tigers in 2023. Both teams are expected to be in the playoff discussion all season long, so a win here would be quite the resume booster. It's easily going to be the biggest win of the early college football season. Meanwhile, for whichever team loses, their playoff hopes are already going to be in doubt. Well, those are the 10 games I'm looking forward to the most in week 1. Which game are you excited for the most this weekend? Was there a game I didn't include that should have made this top 10 list? Whatever it is, let me know in the comment section down below. Before you leave, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. I'm going to be posting college football videos every day during the season, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Also, don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.